Hi everybody, Rabbi Denise here. I hope you're all doing okay. What a week it has been. I feel like Rosh Hashanah was 1,000 years ago. I can't actually believe how much has happened recently. So I wanted to do my usual Shabbat Live. And just so people know, this is normally what I do for secular synagogue folks. They get a Shabbat Live every week from me. Now, I've been putting them lately during the high holiday period and lead up on my kind of public Rabbi Denise and secular synagogue page, but they're typically one of the benefits of joining our community, and our doors close for new members on October 1st. So we normally open 3 times a year around loosely the high holidays in the fall, Hanukkah in the winter, and then Passover in the spring. And the reason for that is because it's very important to me that it really feels like a community, not like a kind of group that online you join in and out, you post when you want. We're a connected community. And so we get to know each other, we get to supporting each other. And if people are always sort of coming in, then it's harder to gel. And so that's why we do it that way. And so if you want to be part of us, then doors are open until October 1st. But that's not the main subject of the Shabbat Live. That's preamble. So this Shabbat is called Shabbat Shuvah. It's an important Shabbat. Every Shabbat, I suppose, is important because it reminds us to rest and take stock and allows us to keep time and close out the week. And all of those are very important. And to me, anyway, certainly very important during the pandemic. It has been very useful to have a regular Shabbat practice to return to and ground me and help me keep track of what day it is and what week and what month. So I'm a big believer that that it's good Jewish wisdom to mark Shabbat, but you don't have to mark it in any particular way. So I just sent out an email to our folks and I said, go for a walk, take a nap, light a candle, read some poetry, but with some intention. The Jewish word is kavanah, mark it in some way. Okay. Shabbat Shuvah is extra important because the idea of Shuvah, so at Rosh Hashanah, if you joined us or if you were in anywhere talking about Rosh Hashanah, a service or some other program, they probably mentioned the concept of teshuvah, which is a kind of turning and returning, the idea of returning to yourself. Yes, people think of it as repentance as well, but it's really about, spiraling back around every year and thinking about who do you want to be? Who do you want to be this year? Who do you want to be in your life? And this Shabbat is a particular Shabbat where we ask ourselves those questions and we gear up for the big holiday of Yom Kippur. So probably lots of you have heard of Yom Kippur, known as the Day of Atonement. It's a day for mourning in community, which I know for a lot of people is extremely important now, both because of COVID-related deaths, because of any other losses we've experienced lately, and it's been harder not being able to come together with family in our normal ways in many cases, and also, the deaths of people we don't know but who still touch us. For example, Breonna Taylor, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and many others. And so Yom Kippur will offer that element of mourning. Although for my secular synagogue Yom Kippur service, I let people know it's also an opportunity to connect back in with joy. I really believe we need that balance. It can't be all somber. It can't be all, the chest pounding that you might see in a traditional synagogue. We're not doing any of that in secular synagogue. I don't really see it as a day to afflict your soul. I see it as a day to connect with community, connect with yourself, connect with your highest ideals, your deepest values. And so that's what our service is gonna focus on. And this Shabbat leading into Yom Kippur, the last Shabbat we have before we mark Yom Kippur, and the first Shabbat we have of the new year. Technically not really this year because the new year began at Shabbat, but the first one that doesn't coincide with the high holiday of Rosh Hashanah, the first kind of, we're in our year now, let's settle in, let's be the person we said we were going to be at Rosh Hashanah. This is an opportunity for that. So in that cycle of turning and returning, coming back to who you want to be, I have still up on my website the Get Clear on Your Jewish Year Guide if you want some prompts and discussion questions for that. Right now, I'm really a big fan of the reboot project called 10Q, and the website for that is doyou10q.com. And actually, a lot of my friends who aren't Jewish, I got them into it, and they do it every year, and they love it. But essentially, every day during the period between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, you answer one question. And things I love about it, this year they added a bonus question every day related to COVID. But on one of the questions, it asks you to think about your spiritual connection, but it tells you can identify that or connect to that however you want. So it's very inclusive, especially people who are secular cultural Jews or Jewish adjacent. You know, they love people who are Jewish. So I'm a big fan of that. If you want to do that, it's not too late. You can access all the questions up until the end of Yom Kippur, at which point they close the vault and then send you your answers next year, which I've been doing it for 5 years, I think. So every year I get access to all 5 years worth of answers. So in that tshuva, that kind of turning and returning to where I am, I get to see what I was thinking at this time over the last several years. And that's been really powerful for me. So those are some ways that I invite you to connect. Obviously, we would love to have you with Secular Synagogue for Yom Kippur. I think it's going to be a beautiful service, and people really did love the Rosh Hashanah one, including me. I was so moved by the way people showed up, and this is a time of year where we need each other and to be in community, but especially this year because our normal community connections are disrupted, and also because there's so much going on in the world. I think we need to lean on each other. So I invite you to think about returning to yourself and what that looks like for you this Shabbat. And if you're interested in joining us at Yom Kippur, all the info is up at secularsynagogue.com. Sending love out to all of you, really genuine love. Shabbat Shalom. Bye.